From refreshing diet soda to smooth coffee creamers, here are 8 foods you would never eat if you knew what was in them. Uh-oh. Number 8. Diet soda. We all knew this was coming. I don't think many people believe soda is healthy, but many believe that the diet option is at least a healthier alternative to regular. In some ways, however, it can actually be less healthy. It almost always has 0 calories because of the artificial sweeteners and additives that are much more powerful than sugar, so they don't need as much of it. These sweeteners don't count as calories, but they do have all kinds of other side effects. They can damage your teeth and cause the brain to release chemicals that could trigger addiction. Also, your body has trouble digesting and using these types of sweeteners, so there is very little nutritional value as a result. The interesting part is that diet soda can actually cause you to gain weight by causing production of insulin. This puts your body into fat storage mode. In addition, studies have shown that people who regularly drink diet sodas are at a much higher risk of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Many health professionals also mention that diet soda actually makes you hungrier and can lead to eating other unhealthy items, making the effects harder to reverse. In fact, many studies have connected artificial sweeteners like aspartame to emotional disorders like depression. Still, as some of the most popular sodas in the world, diet sodas are consumed by millions, and their spokespeople defend their brands. Many doctors recommend looking for drinks with natural sweeteners like stevia, or simply drink naturally sweet fruit juices. In any case, usually anything with a sweetener is bad for you. If you really want soda, just drink the real thing. Just don't drink 5 of them in a day. Number 7. Bacon. I know, I don't want to spoil this for you guys, but many doctors are taking a firm stance against this popular breakfast meat. If you're a vegetarian, then obviously you don't have to worry. The problem is that bacon is one of the most unhealthy meats you can eat, packed with salts and fats. In fact, the World Health Organization mentioned that regularly eating bacon can be almost as dangerous as smoking. There have also been several reports linking bacon and other meats with a higher risk of cancer and heart disease. High levels of saturated fat and cholesterol make this a big no-no for the heart conscious, as these can raise blood pressure and potentially cause a heart attack or a stroke. Sometimes factory bacon can come from pigs that have been in high-stress environments, making them more likely to be sick, which can directly affect you too. Bacon is shown to be addictive and can lead to other unhealthy food choices. It has even been linked in males to a lower sperm count and less healthy sperm, which could make it harder to conceive. Healthier alternatives include turkey bacon and vegetarian substitutes, but we all know it's not the same thing. You have to decide whether it's worth it or not. Number 6. Jell-O. Gelatin, or the brand name Jell-O, have been a staple of North American desserts for generations. Not many stop to question what is inside it, and simply enjoy the delicious low-calorie treat for what it is. The truth is that gelatin is actually made from the bones and hides of animals such as cows and pigs. Did you know this already? You know, hooves and things like that? Gelatin is made up of collagen, which is collected after boiling the required animal parts. While this is pretty gross, it's not necessarily that unhealthy. Some people argue it is good for your hair and nails. Then artificial sweeteners and colors are added to give gelatin its trademark look, and that's the unhealthy part. Artificial flavors are also added according to the type of Jell-O. It is also loaded with preservatives that can help it last months on the shelf waiting for a customer, or the end of the world. In Europe, gelatin actually carries a warning label due to one of the dyes commonly used in its creation. It's called red dye number 40, and studies have linked the dye to hyperactivity in children. However, red dye 40 is actually in many candies, snacks, and drinks, not just Jell-O. Alternatives such as agar-agar exist and are used as a vegan alternative for those who still want to eat it, but without all of those weird ingredients. Number 5. Swordfish. Swordfish and other large fish near the top of the marine food chain are slowly getting more and more dangerous. Not because they are naturally dangerous, but because of the high levels of mercury that are being worked up the food chain. It starts in large industrial plants where mercury is often a waste product, and because of poor containment, it eventually makes its way into rivers, lakes, and the ocean. Small fish gobble it up in tiny amounts, but as larger fish eat more and more smaller fish, it begins to accumulate inside their system. This is called bioaccumulation and can cause these fish, such as swordfish and tuna, to have dangerously high levels of mercury in their tissues, which we then eat. Mercury poisoning can cause serious heart effects in adults and is very toxic. For potential mothers, high mercury levels can cause developmental problems in fetuses. In fact, 10% of American women of childbearing age have enough mercury in their systems to put potential children at risk. These children may suffer problems such as poor verbal memory, language problems, and even disrupted motor control. In response to this, the U.S. government has started programs to help lower mercury in the water, but many large fish, like swordfish, remain high risk. If you like fish but don't want the risk, try to eat fish that are lower on the food chain. Number 4. Energy drinks. You probably already guessed this one too, but still drink them anyway. Energy drinks can be dangerous due to one of the most popular drugs in the world, caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant, which means it makes parts of your body work faster and harder. While that can seem like a good idea if you're working late, studying late, have to drive long hours, or whatever the case may be, the truth is that too much of it can actually kill you. Energy drinks and the amount of caffeine they contain can actually overload the heart, making it work so hard that it just can't take it anymore. Marketing to younger kids and college students is growing in popularity, and more children are being sent to emergency rooms after a caffeine overdose. Still, that's the worst case scenario. Minor symptoms include the familiar caffeine withdrawal headaches and migraines. Stress and anxiety can also increase during the withdrawal process. Chances are, if you're drinking lots of energy drinks, you are already stressed out and don't need more. Insomnia and other sleep issues can also be caused by excessive caffeine use. Even if an energy drink is without caffeine, it often substitutes it for other stimulants that can have similar effects. The sugar used to sweeten them can even raise the risk of getting diabetes and further damage an innocent and hardworking heart. This chemical cocktail can sometimes interfere with prescription drugs and cause bad effects on the body. Pretty scary. Naturally addictive energy drinks are consumed by people all over the world. For a healthy alternative, try the new health craze, coconut water. I personally am not a fan. I'll just stick to tea. And now for one of the most popular foods, but first be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Number 3. Chicken wings. While chicken may be objectively healthy, it loses a lot of its benefits when it's covered in grease, salted, breaded, and fried. So does everything else. From the enormous amounts of fat to the salts and even the sugars in the dipping sauce, the chicken wing has it all. That's why it's so tasty. Originally the least desirable part of a chicken, today it is a game day staple and a part of bar culture. The fats and salts can cause some serious long-term damage to the heart, and is part of the reason that heart disease is such a major killer in North America. In fact, each serving can contain over 700 calories and more than double the daily recommended servings of fat and sodium. For an objectively healthier experience, you can always bake the wings and serve them non-breaded. But where's the fun in that? Just saying. The hardcore health conscious may even seek out vegan wings made with faux meat components. Again, it's up to you how far you want to go, or maybe just eat them less often if you feel like it's a problem. Everything in moderation. Number 2. Instant noodles. Straight out of the college student cookbook, the much beloved and cheap instant noodles had to be on this list, even though we love them so much. The most damaging part of these products are that they are absolutely loaded with salt. In fact, just looking at the packet of instant noodles in my kitchen tells me the sodium content is 1,859 milligrams per 100 grams, and that it is over 50% of the salt recommended for the entire day. Why did I look at the ingredients? Why? With salt hiding in thousands of everyday products such as breads and pastas, that would put most average Americans over the healthy amount of sodium. In fact, some brands that were tested around the world have had more salt than 2 Big Macs and 8 packs of salted chips. So, who cares? The problem with excess salt is that it raises blood pressure, which leads to stress on the heart and a host of other problems, including higher risk of heart disease. Excess salt can even lead to dehydration by changing the electrolyte levels of the body. Another point of concern is that instant noodles aren't properly digested by the body. In fact, researchers used a small camera to see that the noodles were still fully intact hours after being eaten, causing all kinds of digestive problems. The synthetic chemicals used to preserve the food for months on end are also highly toxic, with only 5 grams being enough to kill a person. Now, with the noodles that come in a styrofoam cup, a lot of my coworkers were just adding water and sticking the whole thing in the microwave, which releases all kinds of other toxic chemicals. So while the instant noodle may be quick and easy, it might not be worth it. Anything instant is usually not good for you. Number 1. Coffee creamer. Let's face it, most of us run on coffee, and we often splash a little bit of creamer in it to give it a smoother flavor and texture. What's the harm in that? While each brand is different, coffee creamers without any dairy in them are slowly being shown to be worse for us than we think. Without any traditional dairy in it, coffee creamer doesn't have any real cream. Instead, corporations use sweeteners and syrups to give it a cream-like appearance. Artificial food coloring also gives the coffee a golden or light brown look that we have come to expect. Some of these coffee creamers have salts and trans fats that can increase the risk of heart disease. The amount of sugar in them is so thick that it can stay on your teeth all day and cause cavities. Healthier alternatives include adding real milk or cream instead, or drinking coffee black, which has very little calories. I personally can't stand black coffee, but I guess I can try. Thanks for watching. Do you eat any of these foods? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and click here for more videos. See you next time. Bye!